So in A, if you had a binomial times a binomial, right? Sometimes we use the word FOIL to remind us that we multiply the first one, so we multiply the outside. But you're basically distributing everything. And if you take your time, and I'm going to take my time here, because it's really easy to make mental math mistakes with square root. So, a little reminder from grade 10. How do you multiply mixed radicals? Multiply the numbers out in front, so 4 times 3 is 12. Multiply your square root, so square root of 2 times square root of 2 will be square root of 4. I'm going to take my time. I know the answer to that is 2, and I know that I could combine those to make 24, but I'm taking my time so I don't make any mistakes along the way. Then the next one, a 4 times a negative 1 would be negative 4. A root 2 times root 5 will be a root 10. So we multiply the numbers in front, and we multiply the radicals. Inside ones, 2 times 3 will be 6, and root 2 times root 5 will be root 10 again. And finally, 2 times a negative 1 will be negative 2, and root 5 times root 5 will be root 25. Square root of 4 is 2, so this becomes 2 times 12, that's 24. The middle two are like terms, or like radicals. So I can combine those to be 2 root 10. And square root of 25 is 5, so this will be minus 10. 24 and minus 10 are like terms, so I can put them together. And I get 14 plus 2 root 10. Those aren't like terms, so I can't add them. I check the root 10 to make sure I can't simplify it further. But there's no perfect square that divides 10. Can't divide it by 4, can't divide it by 9. So we would be done at this point, simplified completely. Now we can do B the same way, but in the textbook they start to point out a shortcut that you could use if you recognize something from grade 10. And what they want you to recognize is that sometimes you have a difference of squares. Do you remember factoring that in grade 10? When you have something squared minus something else squared, it factors nicely where one is positive and one is negative. Okay? Now we're expanding, so that can be a shortcut. First of all, we'll just do it the regular way, because that is perfectly fine. I probably recommend for lots of you. You don't even have to worry about the shortcut, but the regular way, and I'm going to change it to green here, I do all my arrows just like last time. Foil things out. And so if I do that, 4 times 4 will be 16. Root 2 times root 2 is root 4. Then 4 times a negative 2 is negative 8. And root 2 times root 3 is root 6. Then 2 times 4 is positive 8. And root 3 times root 2 is root 6. And then finally 2 times a negative 2 is negative 4. And root 3 times root 3 is root 9. And this always happens in a difference of squares. The outside and the inside will be the same numbers, one positive, one negative. They cancel out. So I just have 16 times root 4, that will be 32. And minus 4 times 3, 12, which gives me 20. The shortcut would look like this. If you recognize it as a difference of squares, that means it will be the first one squared minus the last one squared. And the first one was 4 root 2, and the last one was 2 root 3. If I square 4, I get 16. If I square square root, I would just get 2. 16 times 2, 32. If I square 2, I get 4. If I square that, I'll get 3. 4 times 3, 12. And you would get 20 that way as well. So circle questions 3, 4, 5, and 7.